Hey guys, happy weekend. Okay, this throw is going to be for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And for some of you, it's going to be extremely challenging. Okay, I'm going to hit this. It's going to be a little longer because it obviously is for 3 days. But I'm not going to leave you at something thinking it's one way, because no matter what I tell you in here, you're going to walk away with, given we're visual creatures, with that. Okay, and for some of you, that's going to apply, but for others of you, it's gonna really bring to light whatever it is that you're working on or doing, or whatever the issue here is. Okay, what I want to point out is we have an awful lot of swords in here. So the majority of this reading are swords. We have 0 trumps, which means that this can be changed at any time, right? And we also, however, don't have wands. Okay, so you want to watch that you're not running into a burning building, okay? And overreacting, and jealousy isn't spurring something. Let me hit this from the relationship aspect first, okay? We've got the 5 of Cups we come in with. That's our energy, is the 5 of Cups. We've got the 4 of Coins. We've got the 2 of Swords, the 8 of Coins, the Queen of Cups, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, the Ace of Coins, the 3 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Holy crap. There's no other way to coin this. I may actually even call this that. But for those of you, let me just get this out first, because I know you're the most impatient ones, and rightfully so, I get it. If there is something going on here, right, in your relationship, if you know something at your gut level, right, not jealousy, not something, that's a wound from the past that's yours and not into this relationship, right? This is knowing that something is not right. You just don't know exactly what it is. It's telling you that you do know what it is, okay? The 5 of Cups coming in, that's a turning point, right? It's when a decision needs to be made that can, it means everything, okay? That 5 of Cups is a card, though, of, either you put an expectation on something, you now realize that you're in a relationship that's, loveless or not what you had anticipated, right? It's not a good feeling. That card is somewhere where, 5s are the ones that crack us open, right? But we need to look at certain things, and that's a card of really just saying, if you're in a relationship where you're pretty much sure that something is going on, this may be the weekend where you really want to take a look at that and see it for what it is. That Queen of Coins in here, the Queen of Cups, she can be someone who is a great friend, a great ally, someone you can really speak to about this, right? I'm not going to take these as a day by day. I'm going to take it as the cluster of it all. It's going to play out different for everyone. That 4 of Coins, the 2 of Swords, and the 8 of Coins. It's a card of it's a in that lineup. It's unnecessary distractions, right? So it's just someone's nonsense that's causing disruption in your life, right? If you're in a relationship where you think something might be going on, it's quite possible that it is, right? Net is that from the 10 of Swords, what that card really means in here, I think, is that, after an eclipse, the beast comes to light. So you really see things for what it is. That's why it's called the Stairway to Heaven, because you see things for what they truly are now, and you do something about it, okay? The 9 is not pleasant either, but it's difficult choices, right? It can also be in here too that someone else, not you, is maybe being slandered and doesn't have the the oomph to say something about it. You may need to be a friend to someone that this is happening to, okay? Because this card too can mean slander, but it can also mean, in a troubled relationship, it can mean exactly that you're going to get clarity on whatever's going on. With the Ace of Swords on the outbound, that to me is the Archangel Michael card. But though to me personally, it's the Joan of Arc card. So it's basically you get clarity no matter what, and not on someone else's terms. It's clarity to you. It's all that you really need to see. We can always pull on this clarity, but few people really turn to reach that. With the Ace of Coins, what I want to say here, if this is you and that's what's going on here, that card really can't come out a negative, right? So whatever it is, this relationship may have been slowing you down, holding you back. There's such a positive influence in that card, okay? It really pulls the negative away from you with whatever it surrounds itself with, okay? It's in a great spot. Honestly, life comes back after this, okay? This Three of Swords, what I want to say in here, people often confuse that Romeo and Juliet, right, for being a love story, which I guess it could be, but what it is it turned that way. It wasn't supposed to be. It's a tragedy. It's about how stupid people are in love, right? You make stupid choices, and you know that's basically what can happen. So cut yourself some slack, realize that all things pass, and that this card is phenomenal. Two aces on the outbound are great. And the good news is, though, too, I'm trying to put a positive on this because there always is. You just won't see it right now. With this many swords in here, this passes quickly, right? But it also cuts deep. So, you know, that's one scenario. The other is that you kind of let someone hang themselves, right? That's kind of what comes out. That Queen of Cups in here is really someone that she'll let you hang yourself. She'll give you just enough rope to let you hang yourself. But that doesn't mean that, you know, she's very insightful. She can be emotional, though, too. So you want to really apply some intellectual resolve with this, be that for yourself or how you handle the situation, okay? That's going to be for some of you. Unfortunately, that just is what it is, right? For the rest of you, the four, this can really just be you need to clear some distractions in whatever regard that is, okay? There's success in here. You've just got to, how do I say? The Two of Swords is you're looking for balance here, a balanced outcome, I should say, okay? And again, I think this Queen of Swords or Queen of Cups in here, she plays a role in here for someone. This could be, you know, a helping hand to whoever, a good insight, how to balance your business, right? Whatever this is, too, it's getting out of old habits. Maybe you have old lazy habits, right? Maybe you are really charged up about something, you run into it, and then you get lethargic about it. You get lazy about it. You step back, right? The stark realization sometimes with this in here is that, you know what, I'm my own worst enemy. I'm all charged up, but I've got no real desire. Remember, there's no wands in here. Those are our passions. Those are our desires, right? If we don't align with those, we're not going to move a mountain. So we're going to get bored and complacent, you know, and we're going to throw it back in the closet. You don't want to do that, because the energy here really speaks of you can get through this. You can make this a masterpiece, whatever this is to you, right? Be it anything. You've just got to get really clear about it. You've got to take the blinders off and say, you know what, I really do this. The Three of Swords they're old patterns. That's what they can mean too. And with the Ace of Coins in here, whatever it is that you're doing, it brings riches. It brings joy. It brings happiness. It changes your life on a grand scale, right? It's a rooted card, and it's a large gain, okay? Keep doing what you're doing in that regard. The Queen of Cups, what I want to say about her, and I'm not going to go into all of it, but she's a very smart person too. Don't underestimate her. If this is you, don't underestimate yourself, because she's credited for a lot of things in history. Alchemy. I mean, she just use all of your resources. Pull on everything that you've got. We have all of the resources always at our disposal. You need to take some time back, figure out what this distraction is that's got you up here, and figure out a way to deal with that, because the outcome card here, this is great. 2 aces flanking this card is saying you get rid of these old habits. 2 and 3. 2 and 3, they're old habits too. 2s, stay in the middle lane. Do what you need to do, just hunker down and do it, right? But first, the 2 is not an action card. It's a card of getting your plan in place. 3 is deploying it. You've got to break old habits, and you see that, right? And it brings you great fortune in all parts of your life, okay? You've got to be spiritually connected, guys, to do this. Otherwise, no matter what you collect tangibly, you're gonna squander it. It's not gonna get you what you need. It's actually gonna get you destitute. It'll get you looking like this, but through your own doing. Okay, so that's what I think is happening here too. In relationships, I want to go back to that. If you are gonna go at someone, you want to check yourself first and make sure that you're not casting old patterns onto someone who's really not doing something. Okay, you want to be really sure about that, because a lot of times, I'm a big advocate of not jumping from one relationship into another. And sometimes we don't even need to do that, but sometimes wounds and where our placements are and how our chart looks, sometimes we just don't get over those things. Sometimes more sensitive signs have a really hard time and they're not going to trust again. So you've got to, really be careful with what you're casting onto your partner, because this may be an illusion. This may really not be what you think it is, but it could be. You have these answers. Only you are going to figure out how to maneuver this. But for some of you, you've got, what is that saying? I think it actually comes out of white Italian poetry books, but it's basically, sit in your garden and be surrounded by your beautiful roses and let the courtesans play with the goats. Meaning, if your spouse is an idiot and can be taken astray like that, let him go, he or she, right? But if you've got a solid relationship and what you're casting onto them are things that your demons from the past, you need to go within and really look at that, okay? Because that's what these cards can mean too. Swords are things of the mind, right? But they come to life. But we don't have any wands in here. Okay, so you want to be really sure that you're not charging into a burning building first. That's the only reason I'm saying that. If you're going to accuse someone of something, know that it's not something you're casting onto them, right? Because that's not right. The words are always out after that, so no matter if the relationship, and there is resolve in here. There is a chance for resolve in a relationship here, but you need to know what you're dealing with, and you need to be honest with yourself. Okay, but for the rest of you that are driving things, business plans, I know I've got a few of you that are trying to turn some things around in your businesses. This speaks of that in here. You've just got to look at this from a different way and come at things with a different perspective, and you'll do that. I know I have one person in particular. She's really struggling right now with her business. This card keeps coming up, so you've just got to figure out, maybe there's something you're doing that's repeating this. Look at other parts of your life and see, if something's repeating in there. This goes for all of you, right? Sometimes when we're crashing and burning consistently, it's one thread through our lives in different areas that's doing this, and it's a point of crisis. That's what the 9 and the 10 of swords are, right? They're a point of crisis. Crisis points are just, they're productive processes to get things going in a better direction. That's what the 5 is too. I acknowledge that this is what I do. I date losers consistently, so I constantly end up here. I need to take a look at this and, why I do this, and then fix it. Boom, you're done. Clarity, your life is restored in a positive way. That's financial gain too, right? So look at the people around you too. Is your business maybe being held back? Are your relationships being held back because, you're on different tangible planes, right? One person's a saver, one person's a spending. This is an imbalance here. It's an unnecessary imbalance. It's an unnecessary distraction. So figure out where the unnecessary distractions are in your life and clear them out. Because these 2 cards on the outbound tell you really need to look at what your old patterns are and get out from under them, and don't try to romance something that's just not there, right? These are great cards. Your life is going to come out perfect, right? You've just got to clear out the crap you keep pulling in. And that's a tough thing to look at sometimes, right? But you've got to be honest with yourself. This is a great reading. It's just a tough reading, and it's not going to be something that is going to be wonderful right away. But in the long run, you know, when we break the choices that are holding us back, these moons, these influences, these energies, they're you know, you have the Midas touch here of your life. You just need to realize that. And not everybody, you know, realizes how we all come with these innate gifts, but, you know, we settle for less. And the stark realization of that is not always so pleasant. But you can turn that around. I think we've got great cards in the outbound here. I'm telling you, magic comes in here. You've just got to get out from these old habits and these people and places and things that are, they're unnecessary distractions. Okay? Thank you so much. I hope excuse me, that I helped you in some way. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do anything for you. Okay? Thank you so much.